here.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Coach Time Sports. A big welcome back. It's been some time here. So don't want to come up with excuses, but I think I got a pretty good one. So the reason we've been gone for so long, well, everybody got busy here. Court's in dental school, so that's crazy busy. Ty started his basketball, his high school basketball, and those finals and stuff have been tough, and high school's tough. I graduated college, so that was good. I got a big boy job, and then my wife, my beautiful wife, gave birth to a perfect little angel baby. So we've been doing that for the past. Just real quick, for all you that are watching, have you guys seen this foam basketball thing? Tyson got one for Christmas, and it's we bounce it around the house all the time. It's like it's legit. It literally bounces.
Silent basketball.
Yeah, it's a silent basketball. It's like foam, but it bounces like a real basketball. It's pretty cool. So I don't know. There's a little ad for that foam basketball, but
you're welcome.
No free sponsors.
Anyways, hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. It's crazy. I think the last time we were on this thing was October, so this time flew by. Hope y'all have a great New Year's and holiday season. We appreciate all the texts we've been getting. I've been getting countless texts. I don't know about countless, but I've been getting texts for sure asking where the pod is. So we thought we'd get back on and talk a little bit about, first of all, our Arizona sports talk. There's been a roller coaster of emotions for us Arizona fans here, just with all of our sports. And so we'll dive into that, and we'll then get into a little bit of sports, just individual sports here and there, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Don't want to be too long for the first one back, but hopefully we'll get these things rolling again weekly. So, all right, let's dive into this Arizona sports talk. So I went ahead and ranked, and you guys can obviously have your own opinions, but I think we all I think there's some not very much gray area is what I'm going to say here. So we ranked each team worst to best, and the worst team in Arizona right now is the Arizona Cardinals. Man, and it's not that they're, I mean, obviously their record has been worse in recent years, but for me it was just the expectations and then us just not meeting them. And if you want to talk about roller coaster emotions, not just for all Arizona teams, but especially the Cardinals, they put us through one this year. Started off bad, got real hot, bye week killed us, and then, I mean, we look terrible right now. So we'll dive into some of that. Let's hear from Tyson first. Ty, what has gone wrong for the Cardinals this season? And we'll talk about how to fix it later. Let's just hear what's gone wrong. Why are you frustrated with the Arizona Cardinals?
I don't know, it's typical Cards. They give you false hope. They will start out decent, and then when it comes to division play and all that kind of stuff, we like to roll over and not do good. A lot of it's play calling. A lot of it's the guy that plays quarterback. I don't think he cares as much as other people do. And I feel like the whole team, once we lose one game, it just adds on to each other.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think those are very valid points. Court, what would you have to say?
Yeah, that bye week killed it. It was tough. I mean, they were hot going in. You take a week off, you kind of lose all your momentum. I'm not a big fan of the play calling. I think they really struggle to move the ball downfield. And if it's not a check down to Connor or McBride, it seems like nothing's working. And I think Kyler Murray is super talented quarterback. I think he's got all the skill set he needs, but his attitude, I think, hinders him quite a bit. So it's frustrating. I don't know what they're going to do next year. I hope they fire the OC. I think he's too conservative with his play calls. We need somebody in there that's got some cojones and is willing to throw the ball downfield.
For sure, yeah. That guy by the name of Drew Petzing is our offensive coordinator, for y'all that don't know. And it's his first year, right? Second. Was he here when? Yeah, okay, it is his second year. But yeah, I've not been impressed at all. I mean, we did draft Marvin Harrison, and everybody in the world was excited about it, and we don't even use the guy, it seems like. That's a whole other story. I feel like there's just things with receivers. Like, if you go watch Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, or even a Malik Neighbors who got drafted this year, if you watch those guys, or a great example of me, probably the best, is Amon-Ra. You watch these guys, they just got a dog. Like, they just got that fight in them. And I don't know if Marv is, I mean, don't get me wrong, being a rookie and first year in the NFL's got to be tough, but it just looks like you don't care. I don't know if that's because Kyler doesn't, care, and it's kind of a leadership thing, but it's just like there's no emotion, which is just, it sucks to see. I mean, Tyson and I actually went golfing today with our uncle, which is a little side story, but we were talking about this on the way home, and like we were both just joking that we need to get Bruce Arians back because we need a little bit of fire. I mean, there's nothing there. It's just like, oh, we didn't win. Kyler sits on the bench, and they always show him at the end of the game, and he's just sitting there, and like it's just like Court said, I think if it's not going through James Conner and Trey McBride, and it's not even that they're the best players on our team, I just think they're the guys with the best attitude and what it looks like. I mean, they're fiery. They want to win is what it seems like. I mean, when they lose, they're pissed off. I've seen countless videos of McBride and James Conner screaming in the locker room. And sometimes that's what it takes, especially in like a contact football sport, I think. And I don't know, it's just lacking. So I guess that leads us to a question. We'll get into this a lot next week too, but I do want to dive into it with a little bit with Kyler. Are you guys done with them?
I'm out.
Court's out.
Me
Done.
too. I'm usually the positive guy that says one more, but it's been enough one mores.
I
think
agree.
it's
I
just-
mean, I don't think it's all his fault. Don't get me wrong, but I actually Court sent a tweet to me last night I think it was that he's had 7 opportunities to win in the
16 chances in the last 7 weeks. Maybe not 7 weeks. Something like he had 16 chances with the ball in his hands to either go up or increase
in the second half.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter.
To increase the lead or go up and take the lead. And in those drives, he was no touchdowns.
1 field goal. I remember that.
4 missed field goals.
Yeah.
3 picks, a pick 6, a fumble, and it's just like I said, I think Kyler Murray is super talented. Obviously, he won the Heisman in college, elite quarterback then, and he still has all the skill set. It's just either the play calling's not working or it's his attitude, whatever it is. It's not working here in Arizona. I think they gotta get rid of him.
I agree.
Just restart.
Yeah, and some will say, this QB draft class isn't as good as people say. And actually, Court and I were talking. We were a little more fiery right after the game on Sunday because we lost to the freaking Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't this past week. We obviously lost to the Rams, but the week that we lost to the Panthers, we were hot, right? And we wanted to get on the pod right there. It's probably a good thing we didn't because we probably would have said some things that we would have regretted for sure. But the thing that drives me nuts about him, and I understand he's 5'2" and can't see over the line, but there's no oomph on his ball. So every single ball, these DBs have all day to react to him. I can't tell you how many times Marvin would run the 10-yard hitch or whatever, the in route, whatever, and all these DBs are way behind him, but they have time to react on the ball. We need a guy that can just zip it in there.
Some velocity.
And and we just don't have it. And another thing that we were discussing on the way home with my uncle today from the golf course was, in the NFL, what it takes to win is a good defense and then certain good players on offense, but they don't win you the game. You just need a quarterback that can manage the game. We saw it with Tom Brady. We saw it with freaking Nick Foles in the Super Bowl in that run. Carson Wentz wasn't even that great of a quarterback, but he led those Eagles teams to great seasons. Tom Brady, for a while there in his first couple of years, he was a good quarterback, but he wasn't the GOAT or whatever he was now. And a lot of times it just takes a game manager, like what they say about Purdy, which is a whole nother topic that we can get into next week too, which is that one's really crazy, but it just doesn't seem like Kyler is that guy right now, and I don't know if he ever will be. I don't know what our organization is married to him for. It seems like they'll never let go of him, but it is nice to see some people starting to get sick and fed up with it for sure. So I don't know what else to say about the Cardinals. Like I said, it hasn't been their worst season at all. We had a chance to be over 500, and we weren't going to make playoffs, but it's just frustrating because it seems like it's kind of this story every single year. Well, let's move into the third out of the 4 teams right now that's also on the struggle bus, and this is a whole another deal, is our Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are in 11th place. Well, this was when I wrote this a couple days ago. They could be worse. They've lost 2 more times since then. They were in 11th place in the West, and they have almost the highest payroll in NBA history with Durant, Beal, and Booker, and then all of our other pieces. Obviously, there's been injuries and stuff, but let's hear from Court first. Court, what's going wrong with the Suns?
I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of the Suns game, but I do get the updates. But from what I've seen, if it's not Beal, Booker, KD scoring, nobody is. And it's not like we don't have good perimeter shooting. You got Royce O'Neal, who's a good shooter. You got Grayson Allen, who almost led the league last year in 3-point percentage. You got a bunch of rookies who are young and hungry, but it just seems like nobody can score unless it's Book, Beal, or KD. I'm a big fan of Tyus Jones, and I think he's a good job at facilitating the ball, but it just seems like you get down on the other side of the court, and it's like, okay, give to KD. Oh, no, KD's double-teamed. All right, give to Book. Oh, shoot, now he's double-teamed. Oh, give to Beal. And then we're, throwing up threes at the last second, and it just seems like it's not working. Again, like I said, I haven't watched many games, but I don't know. Team chemistry's off. Who knows? There's something going on. I thought Budenholzer was going to change the culture, but it seems like it's a whole bunch of the same stuff Vogel left us last year. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, for sure. Tyson, Do you regret the trade for Kevin Durant and giving up the Twins, Cam Johnson?
Tough question. Because if you look at it, KD wins us a lot of basketball games, and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'll say yes to that question. Sometimes I'll say no. In the end, it's probably yes because he's 36 years old. I mean, he's a good scorer, but how much potential we had in Mikal and Cam. I mean, we saw in 2021 what we were able to do. But like this season-wise, I mean, I've watched a ton. It's something about the attitude and carelessness. Like our turnovers are higher than they've ever been. I mean, we just chuck the ball. KD gets double teamed and he tries to just chuck it, and it's just been bad. It feels like same thing with the Cardinals. They just don't care as much as other teams to win. Like these teams that are in the top of the East and West, these are like fiery teams that, I mean, they win all the 50-50 balls and they want to win and they really care. And I just don't see that in this year's Suns team, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. I actually saw an interview after, so I don't know if you guys were watching, but he had 4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes of the game against the Warriors, and we lost by 1 possession. And they asked him about it, and they were like, KD, what can you do better, blah, blah. He's like, well, they double team me. What am I supposed to do? I'm like, that is not the attitude. That means pass the ball to the guy that's open. It just seems like, and I mean, kind of just what Tyson hit on. It's kind of the same deal with the Cardinals, in my opinion. I just don't think they care enough, really. I mean, they have all the talent. Obviously, there's been injuries in there, but it's just kind of like, oh, we lost. Dang it, we'll try to get them again. Where there's no fire. So we'll have to see what's going on. Like Court said, there's no chemistry. It's just ISO hero ball, and that's not working for us. I mean, when we made our finals run, you didn't know who was going. I mean, obviously Booker was the guy, but they were dudes passing around like crazy, and I think that's what it takes for a team to win. So
one more thing with the Suns. It just doesn't help that we don't have a great big man. You see a lot of teams in the East and the West that run their offense through the big men. For example, the Nuggets and Jokic. I think the Rockets are the 2 seed and they run through Sengun. Like there's a bunch of other teams, but it's really nice to have a guy that can get in there and do a lot. And Nurkic ain't making the cut this year.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know where or why we can't, as the Suns, get a good European big center. Seems like every other team doesn't have any problems with it. But this is I don't know how many times we've tried. But, I mean, one that comes to my head is Dragon Bender. I mean, that guy was awful. Nurk's horrible. I mean, we've never, if you really think about it, the Suns have never had a good big man. I mean, Alex Len. I mean, not since Amari Stoudemire. I'm pulling. We had Shaq, but he was like 4 years old then.
We had Tyson Chandler.
Yeah. I mean, we've really never had a good big man. And like Tyson said, I mean, if you do look at all these teams, let's just think about some finals winners lately. The Nuggets. Okay, they got Jokic. The Bucks. They got Giannis. The Celtics, they got superstars, and I think that's what the Suns are trying to do, but we just don't have, it seems like we don't have the
good perimeter guys.
The chemistry. And, that's the other thing, the defense. And we didn't hit on that. I mean, our defense is horrible. And anyways, it's been real rough. By no means are we just hating on our teams. Like, obviously we want the best. I mean, if they make the finals, I'm all in. Don't get me wrong. But it's just the reason this is coming from such frustration is because we want to be good and we know that they have the chance. We grew up in the freaking, Eric Bledsoe days. Who else was on those teams? I mean, just bummy Suns teams.
Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio.
Brandon Knight.
All these teams. Brandon Knight. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like we've sat through it. And anyways. What are your guys' thoughts on Jimmy Butler deal? Do you want him? Do you think he'll do anything? I personally don't think it'll be much different. I mean, we don't need... Well, obviously Jimmy Butler's a great player, but we need, like Tyson said, I think we need the big man, and that's what we got to go get. I've heard some rumors we want Valanciunas from, like, isn't that just a Nurkic? It's just... So we'll see.
Butler's not worth it. Butler's a good player, but it's just going to be more of the same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's Beal again. It's Beal 2.0, maybe a little bit better, but I don't think it's crazy. But anyways, Matt Ishbia did
$2, baby.
Make the $2 menu, and that is clutch for any sports attendee goer to stadiums. I mean, everyone knows that you'll drop more at the concession stand than for the ticket at the game usually. And a $2 menu for hot dogs, what is else? Soda, popcorn, water, all that stuff's $2, which is really cool. So,
that going for 'em.
I mean, I guess you can go, they got that going for them. So go out and get your $2 hot dog and go watch some very mediocre basketball at the moment. All right, well, let's get into the second best team in Arizona right now. And it's funny to say it because they're not even playing, and we still got 3 or 4 months till they play. But they're making big moves here, and that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're all kind of baseball first people. We love all the sports, so we pay attention to Diamondbacks a lot. I don't know if all our listeners do, but we'll let you in on some news. So about, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, Christian Walker left the Astros. We were trying to fill that first base position. I heard that we went after Goldschmidt. I heard that we went after Bellinger. But then we got Josh Naylor. I have my thoughts, but let's hear from Court again. Court, what are your thoughts on the Josh Naylor pickup?
We gave up a bag of chips. Honestly, Josh Naylor strikes out a ton. Christian Walker struck out quite a bit too. I don't think you're ever going to be able to replace Christian Walker's glove, which I'm kind of bummed about. But offensively, you're probably going to get about the same production. Naylor might hit a few less home runs, probably a little bit less in the RBI category too. But we gave up Slade Ciccone. The dude had like a 7 ERA in the bullpen, and like, okay, great. So we get a starting first baseman for probably a fringe bullpen guy this year.
And save some money.
And we saved some money, so I like it. I thought it was a good deal, especially after Walker left. So
yeah,
I'm here. The Nay Tray. Well, I don't even know. Well, we got to find a nickname for him. Big Naylor.
Yeah, big Hoss. He's a big old boy.
Hoss.
But
that dude can do the splits though.
Yeah, every time he came up in the postseason, we were watching, and my mom would just be like, "That dude is huge." And he's a big old boy, but dude can hit, and he actually hits lefties pretty well from the left side. So that'll be fun to watch. Ty, do you have any thoughts on Josh?
It's always nice to have a lefty bat. I mean, the guy that can hit the ball 900 feet to right field. I mean, there's nothing bad in that. I do see him going to DH sometimes. I mean, he's not the most mobile guy because, we're talking how massive he is. So, but yeah, he's still good at first base, so he'll hold it down over there for us.
No, 100%. I'm happy about it. I think it was a good deal. Kind of like what Court was saying, what we gave up, what we got, and no, I think he's actually a pretty good player. And I mean, this has kind of been the theme of the episode, but that dude plays with fire. I mean, I remember him hitting a home run in the postseason. Hit the home run, grabbed his bat, and just whacked himself as hard as he could in the helmet, and screamed into his dugout. Like, that's fun to watch sometimes. So I'm excited. Do feel a little bit bad for him because he was playing with his brother. Like, that's a pretty cool thing. But maybe we can use a backup catcher.
We don't need Bo.
No, Bo's not it.
Hopefully Gabby can. We need Gabby back this year and healthy. All right. Well, let's talk about the biggest thing the Diamondbacks did, and this happened late Saturday night. I don't know. I went crazy when it happened. I got literally scared of my family because I got the ESPN alert and sent it to Court right away. It's going to be somebody throwing to Gabby Moreno, and it's probably the best pitcher in baseball the last 4 years. It's Corbin Burns. Tyson, what are your thoughts on that yet?
I mean, how do you not like it? Like you said, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, it's just another one that's going to win you a lot of games that we needed to win last season, that we had a rough pitcher out there. Which the rotation's always going to be good, which this made it 10 times better. It's just, now it's just a bullpen, but great pickup, of course.
For sure. Court, thoughts?
This podcast ever gets to any free agents in the MLB, come to Arizona. Your taxes will be less.
Yeah. And
I read an article saying Burnsy took Arizona over like San Francisco and the Blue Jays because the taxes were less. And plus, Arizona's a great place to live. But I'm hyped up for this. I think our rotation, I already thought they were top 5 last year. Now with Burns, Gallen, Merrill Kelly, hopefully Erod can figure it out like he was on the tires, and Brandon Pfaadt. You can mix in Ryan Nelson there.
Yeah, who was
that is
last year.
Nasty starting 5 rotation. Like I just
Jordan Montgomery.
Montgomery might have
a joke.
He might have a bounce back here. We hope he does. I hope his attitude is okay enough to where he wants to play, but no, I think they're going to do some damage. I think it's going to be really tough to hit off the Diamondbacks. I really do.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I mean, like Court said, yeah, Scottsdale's a cool place to live. Most athletes have houses in Scottsdale, so why not just live there full time? Come on home.
You get to play in the AC.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about rain.
For sure. Yeah, every one of our teams has a dome, so I mean,
come on.
Yeah, it's hot sometimes, but yeah, like Court said, there's AC. But no, Corbin's legit. I mean, he's had the best ERA in baseball in the past 4 years. I mean, what more can you ask for? Cy Young. If you look at his career, he had a 1 or maybe 2 years in his 9-year career or 10-year career that he was into 3 ERAs. He had one season where he sucked, but that was like very early on in his career. And other than those 2, he's been in the twos for as long as he's pitched, and that's just insane. I mean, 2 runs a game should win you most games, if that's all he's given up. So, and if this, this leads me to my next question, was what has to be better for the Diamondbacks this year? And I think what we're going off is definitely our bullpen, but just pitching in general. And I mean, we're addressing it like crazy. I mean, the Diamondbacks scored the most runs in baseball last year, so I mean that's a fact, and that's obviously pretty glaring that there's not much to do on that side of the ball. So what can you do? You can get the other side of the ball better and hope that we can outpitch some guys sometimes when we can't hit. But I like our offense. I think we're going to hit well. We need Corbin. We need both Corbins, but we need Corbin Carroll to get going again this year, like his rookie year. He started turned on at the end of the year, which was good to see. So hopefully he can come back and get out of that sophomore slump. And then, I mean, Ketel Marte, most slept-on player in baseball, I think. And
he's so good.
Anyways, I'm very excited for the Diamondbacks. That's why we gave him the top second spot, when they're not even playing right now.
I don't know when his contract ends, but Tariq Skubal, when his contract ends, we just need to throw him the kitchen sink, dude. Get him back to AZ. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that
Could
would be
you
crazy.
imagine a rotation with
That would be
Burns,
nuts.
Gallen, Skubal?
Yeah.
We also need Gallen to come back.
Gallen,
that's true.
I don't
I
think
don't know.
Gallen's going to leave. I think he likes it here. Unless he chases the money.
I actually work with his girlfriend or fiance. I don't know which one she is.
We're working the ball on the outside.
So, there's ways to get in there. There's ways.
All
to
you
get in.
D-back fans, don't worry. The Kutch Sports Podcast.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. Why
Kutch
not?
time.
Let's get him on here.
Yeah, first visitor, first guest.
All right, well, let's get into the freaking best team in Arizona, and we're repping it already today, right now. And it's just been amazing to see because it's everywhere right now. Like, we golfed today, like I've said for the 3rd time, and ASU was everywhere. Polos, shirts, flags. I mean, ASU is the talk around the town, and it's probably the talk around all of sports right now. With just how it's gone. So let's just talk about the season for a second. And I think the last time we did this podcast, we just lost to Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And we were pretty bummed because we should have beat them. We knew that we should have beat them. We said that. And we said that they had to not beat themselves, and they'd be a pretty good team. Well, they figured that part out of it. And pretty good team is about the least thing you can say about how we're doing right now. Court, let's hear from the alum. The Sun Devil alum.
Sun Devil alum.
What?
Proud.
Proud is the word.
To be. Yeah, I remember texting some of my friends from dental school that had gone to a few games, and I was like, guys, don't worry. Like, ASU's been really, really bad these last few years, so I would expect them to kind of fall off at some point. And it was after the Utah game, and I was so excited. We had just beat Utah. Cam Rising played like crap. Beside the point. We beat Utah, and I messaged them, and I was like, guys, this is like my Super Bowl. ASU's been so bad for the last 3 years. And then it just seemed like they just flipped into another gear. I know they lost the game after the Utah game without Levitt playing quarterback.
Yeah, and Eastern morning game.
Yeah, so random on
Real
like
game.
ESPN.
And it was raining.
9 a.m. I don't know.
Cincinnati, freaking
But
added.
whatever got into this team has fired me up so much. We used to be season ticket holders when I was a kid, and like this is the passion that I felt at like 12 years old, watching Taylor Kelly, watching Burko, watching Brock Osweiler.
Rudy Carpenter, baby.
Yes, like this is a football team that you want to cheer for. Not because they're good, just because they're good guys. And they're a fun ball club. They throw the ball all over the field. Scat will run through your freaking face anytime he gets the ball. Oh man, I can't say enough good things about this team. I love them. I love Dilly. I remember when we hired him, I was like, dang, maybe we could have got Prime, could have got some hype. No, Kenny Dillingham to the moon. To the moon.
I mean, yeah, you hear the fire in our voices. You just punched the wall. Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much more. Seriously, like we got picked to finish dead last in the Big 12, and we won the freaking thing. And not the People's Championship, BYU. We won the real one.
Yes!
We're not even going to talk about that.
Don't
we
even
can talk
bring it
about
up.
the whole episode next week if you guys want. But, no, it's unreal. I mean, seriously, you couldn't be happier as an ASU fan. Actually, Corey and I were talking about this. We love all their sports. We really do. But I think this is the granddaddy of them all.
I've always said, if it's anything I could have in my life, it'd be to really witness a Diamondbacks World Series. I mean, we were alive when it happened.
Yeah.
But close to that is an ASU National Championship. And the fact that we have an opportunity.
Yeah, it's crazy. This fast, too. I mean, we were the worst job. I mean, Dillingham, yes, we were obviously like Dillingham. Dillingham took a freaking chance to come to us. Dude, our program was in the absolute pooper at the time. Herm left us nothing. We had allegations against us. We had
sanctions.
All this stuff. It was not the place to be, for sure. But I think it speaks to bringing home somebody that truly cares about the program and not a freaking buck. You know, that's what these coaches now these days. Everyone cares about money. And, you know, players care about money. I understand. Money's cool. But Dillingham grew up here. He's a Sun Devil at heart. I mean, he grew up going to the games. And look what he's done. I mean, I personally think, and he said it, unless Alabama comes with like $100 million, I mean, I don't think Dillingham's going anywhere. I really don't. Because this is his job. He said it. He was crying in his press conference when he got the job saying this is his dream job. And look what he's done.
I gotta make a side note.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Just side quest real quick. My grandpa played football at Brigham Young University back in the 70s or 60s or whenever it was, probably a little bit earlier than that. And after that BYU ASU game, I got a call from him and he said, "Hey, congrats on the win. Not a big fan of your coach." The one time Kenny gets the press is when he's fired up. Any coach is going to be pissed off about one second getting put back on the clock. Not for the first time that year, but the second time. Kenny Dillingham is a great human being on top of a great football coach, and I will ride or die with this dude until the end of the earth.
No, 100%. He freaking, and the guy just brings it. I mean, here we go, back to our entire theme of this.
Fire!
He brings it. I mean, every single practice you see the guy yelling. It's like I think he's like, I don't know, he's doing smelling salts or on cocaine half the time, but he's literally just crazy, and the kids love it, and it's unreal. Ty, what are just quickly, but I mean, what can you say that we?
I don't know. ASU football is saving my my heart at least. Watching the rest of these sports we all talked about. Between the D-backs with their crumble, not making the playoffs, the Cardinals just being the Cardinals, and the Suns being the Suns, they've just saved every Arizona fan, and we're all just dialed into this team. I don't think anybody else is worried about other than when an ASU game day is. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to me about it is you see these players in the SEC, all these people, they're chasing money, man. And everyone on the ASU team that I've seen that can come back has said they're coming back because they don't care about the money right now. They care about the experience they're having. They love their coach. They love where they're at. And don't get me wrong, they're getting paid some here and there, but it's nothing like these other schools or players are getting. And it's great to see. I think, and this actually is on our list here, but and I think this is just the start, which is the best part, because obviously we were picked to finish last. We've already been seeing all these portal commits coming in. And Dillingham, I mean, he says it all the time, he's picky about who comes in here. I mean, he doesn't care if you're just a great ball player. He wants the whole package of you actually being a good person, actually, you know, caring about this program, which is awesome to see. So, I mean, I really do think that this is just the start, and very excited for we're 2 days away. Not even 2 days anymore. We're probably like, I don't know, 34 hours away from the biggest kickoff in ASU history, and we couldn't be more excited. Let's get into that game. Of course, doing horns down for all you watching the camera. Let's get into it. Tyson, obviously, I mean, the odds are against us. They're saying we're 2 touchdown underdogs. To lose by 2 touchdowns. It's what Vegas has us at. What is it going to take for ASU to win the ball game?
Stopping the run and getting turnovers and starting out hot. We're going to have to take risks, which we always do, but we have to take risks. We're going to have to get out of the gate hot, and we're going to have to stop the run, because we saw last week against Clemson, the Texas run for the last 2 weeks have just
they rushed for over 300 yards,
it was between the both running backs. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just going to have to come out hot. I mean, it's just what we're going to have to do, because it's SEC ball. You got to get ready for it.
For sure. Corey, what are your keys to the game?
Same. You got to stop the run. I think ASU's offense is going to be just fine. I really do. I know Texas defense is like top 2, maybe the number 1 in the nation right now. I just think ASU spreads the ball. Give it to Scat. He does what he does. I'm telling you. He's been talking that talk, but he backs it up. And so I think offense is going to be just fine if we can win the turnover battle. If our defense can get like 2-3 big-time stops, I really do think we have a chance. I know 2 touchdown, 13.5 point underdogs is crazy. People are sleeping on the Devils, baby. They've been sleeping on them all year. I would say too. I think they got a good chance. I really do.
For sure. No, I agree. Obviously we're biased. We're big ASU fans, but what I was always told my college baseball career, and actually all my baseball career, is a hot team can beat any team. And I mean, we're as hot as can be. That is the biggest thing to me right now that could go wrong is that we haven't played football in a month, which is the scariest thing to me. I think that we can compete with anybody. We got enough grit and fire. It looks like that. We're not going to back down. I mean, the way that these guys are talking right now, I'm almost like stop talking a little bit. Like let's not fire these other team up. But our boys are ready. It just comes down to executing, and like everyone said, stop the run. And I think what they mean by stop the run is make Quinn Ewers throw the ball. And Quinn Ewers is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He was the first, number one, top ranked 21 quarterback. Actually, no player in the nation. He's a great quarterback, but he has struggled a little bit this year at times. And I think our secondary is a little weak at times. But when you throw the ball, there's mistakes to be had. When there's a blitzer or something can go wrong. And like I said, like Tyson said, I think if we start fast and start, if we get up, we get the ball. Even if we don't get the ball and we stop them, score first. I think that could be huge and pay some dividends at the end. So excited! It's the biggest game in ASU history, and like I said, I think the coolest thing about this is, don't get me wrong, like I want to win the freaking national championship. But if we do, get stopped, there's only one team that's gonna win this. If somehow we lose this Wednesday or next week or the week after that, it's just the start in my eyes, which is the coolest part of this entire thing. And so. Awesome. Let's dive into some of the other games. Let's talk about probably the biggest, and I've actually heard people say this is the national championship before the national championship. It's Oregon-Ohio State. First of all, I feel like the college football playoff bracket sucks because how does Oregon have to play Ohio State again, and they're the 1 seed? That's just tough. But who do you guys like in that game? We'll start with Court.
So it's supposed to be a neutral site. Obviously flying down from Eugene to Pasadena. Is that where
it's in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have more Oregon fans just because of the proximity. However, I think Ohio State they're fired up after their loss to Michigan. They played really well last week.
And they're fired up too. They lost to Oregon earlier in the year. It should have beat them.
I think it's going to be a really good game. I mean, don't get me wrong. Number one team in the nation, undefeated, kind of get the unfortunate scenario, have to play Ohio State again. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm like a closeted Ohio State fan, so I kind of want the Buckeyes to win. I've been on their campus, so that means I'm a fan of them. So yeah, go Buckeyes. OHIO.
I can't get behind that. They already beat us in the national championship, and they're the only time. So that's tough. Joe Germain, the ASU boy, went there and beat us. I hate Ohio State, to be honest with you. If I had to pick Michigan, I don't like them either, but I think I'd take Michigan. But Tyson, who do you think wins that game and why?
I'm not Court. I'm cheering for the Ducks.
Why?
But tough to beat a team twice, and if I had to pick one, I think Ohio State's gonna get them this time. Heck, they were 2 seconds, a 1 second slide away from a chance of a game winner field goal to beat them. So
and that game was in Eugene.
Yeah, that game was in Eugene. I don't know, something about Ohio State. They played football more recently. They got to play last week, and I just think that they're gonna be rolling.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you guys. I think Ohio State probably wins this game, and I think the biggest thing, kind of like what I was saying with ASU, I think they played last week, which obviously your bodies take a toll there a little bit, but I do think it's big for momentum and just playing and so rhythm. And I do think it's going to be a heck of a football game, though. I honestly wish that was the nightcap, or ASU game was the nightcap. I hate that we're the 11 a.m. when we're playing on the East Coast, and it's weird, but anyways. Let's dive into the next game on the list, and that's tomorrow's game, which Tyson and I will be there. It's those Boise State Broncos playing the Penn State Nittany Lions. Let's hear Tyson first. Ty, what are your thoughts? Who wins that game?
Me and Jerry are gonna be watching the real Heisman winner tomorrow in Ashton Genty, but I don't think the Broncos will hang with the Penn State defense. I think Penn State's gonna win by probably 2 touchdowns if I had to guess. Don't get me wrong, I'm cheering for the Broncos and I want them to do it, but I just think that Penn State team's rolling and they're just too powerful compared to the Boise State team.
I think Boise State's getting the same kind of hate and same kind of publicity that ASU's getting. Don't get me wrong, Penn State's a good team. Great ball club. We got to stick with the underdog, man. Go Broncos! Go!
Love it. I think, I don't know if I had to put money on it, I'd probably put Penn State, but I want Boise State. I obviously have a pretty personal connection with their quarterback, which is cool. Shout out Mick if you're watching this.
Let's go, Mick.
And Mad
Come on,
Dog.
Mick.
Hopefully Mad Dog can throw for some
Just
yards. I mean,
slang
they're
that
just
thing.
slandering the Mad Dog, by the way. Dude has 4 picks this year. That's all he's thrown, like over 20 touchdowns. And they're telling the line is
Western
170
competition.
yards. He's not going to throw for 170 yards, especially if they're trailing in the game. Like, come on. And Ashton Jeanty, I mean, that guy, and actually James Franklin, the head coach at Penn State, said it. That guy can play football wherever the crap he wants. In the NFL, any school in the nation, don't matter if he's a Mountain West kid or whatever. The guy has ran for 1,800 yards after contact this year. There are guys that don't even run for half of that the whole season, that start every single game without the whole contact thing. He's ran for 1,800 after getting touched, which is that's just absurd. And if you watch the guy, Tyson's over here doing the Heisman, which we're going to get into after this next game. The last game of the college football playoff this week is Georgia against Notre Dame. Who is going to win that game? Court.
Dude, I don't know, man. No, probably Georgia. I mean, no Carson Beck, which I don't know if that's a bad thing necessarily for Georgia. I think he's had some up and downs this year. Who knows? Maybe the Georgia boy Gunnar Stockton. Maybe they just pull another Stetson Bennett out of their butts and they freaking whop on Notre Dame. Not a big Notre Dame guy over here. Don't like him. Don't like the Irish. I like Shane Gillis though.
I do like
Riley Leonard's got a baby face. He could be the next
I
great
do
man.
like Leonard.
I don't know.
Okay.
You got an ASU transfer there in Jordan Clark.
Clark, yeah.
So
No.
But
Yeah.
who's that coming down the track?
Oh yeah, I got Georgia too. I don't think it's a really hot take, but I think Georgia's gonna win the title even with Gunner. I mean, between the defense and who they have on offense, how do you count out Kirby, if you know what I mean? I think they're gonna win the title, and I think they'll handle the Irish.
How I said about Ohio State, I remember being in Tempe and Notre Dame coming to town and beating us. And I've hated Notre Dame ever since. I don't know why. I mean, obviously they beat ASU, which I hate them. And I don't want them to win. I don't. So give me the Bulldogs too, even with their backup. Like Court said, I don't even know if that's going to be that big of a wrench in their plans. Beck hasn't been great. I actually saw today that he declared for the draft, and all these scouts. I saw some guy, there was a reporter or something, that one of the 30 teams, 32 teams in the NFL, one scout reached out and said, big mistake. That's all he said. So I don't know if Beck's even going to get drafted. I mean, he's hurt, and he was not good this year, so we'll see. But, yeah, man, Georgia's just so good. Court, Tyson gave his pick. If you had to pick someone, and then, I mean, obviously, if you want ASU, you want ASU, but bias.
Who I think's gonna win
let's
it?
say to to win $1 million. Who you saying?
If I was a betting man, which I'm not. Give me Ohio State, baby! Go Buckeyes!
Gosh, I hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
I just think I really do. I think they're the best team in the nation.
You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna go Oregon. Give me Oregon. Dylan Gabriel's gonna throw for like.
Give me the
700.
dogs. What's that coming
Alright.
down the track?
Quick, let's just get into it. Did Jane T get snubbed?
Yes.
Yes, I said it like 4 times
Next
now.
question.
That
Yeah,
is the
next
Heisman.
question.
The only thing that I would have to say about him not getting the Heisman, I mean, Melvin Gordon had a little bit better of a year, I'm pretty sure, when he was at Wisconsin. So, like, you can argue, and he didn't win the Heisman that year. What Travis Hunter's doing is crazy. Don't get me wrong, Travis Hunter's a really good player. But I don't think he's the best receiver in the nation.
No.
And I don't think he's the best corner in the nation. I think he's top 5 at maybe both positions, but snaps? Question mark?
Yeah. And
I gotta ask one question. Who's in the playoffs? That's all I got for you.
yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's when you're talking about valuable, asset, which I think is the Heisman. Obviously, Heisman is stats too, but I think the biggest stat is wins, and they just don't have that. And
Yeah, and they have the number 1 quarterback
and,
in the
I've seen
draft.
countless videos of him getting absolutely ran over by some guys. He's a great player. What he's doing is crazy. I mean, just the endurance and all that. But
he's going to be good in the NFL, but don't get me wrong.
no, yeah, he's gonna be good.
You think he's 2-way?
And I mean, shout out Travis Hunter. You seem like a really stand-up guy, and you're catching some slander right now on the social media. I don't think that's cool. But anyways,
Should have been Scat.
I think Scott should have won the Heisman. You know what, Levitt?
Let's be real.
Hey, Levitt's already getting stuff for next
Yes.
year.
Yeah, he is.
Sam
He is.
Levitt,
He's
if you
getting-
hear this, You my guy.
Come on the pod.
You my dog.
You and Gallon, we'll get into audio.
Yeah. You know, and we'll be nice and give you your own little episode. We'll do it in back-to-back weeks. We won't make you guys come on together. All right, let's dive into NFL quick. Just season recap. We'll talk a lot NFL next week because this was kind of the college football just with ASU and all that episode. Let's just do a quick season recap. We talked about how disappointed we are in the Cardinals. Who's the front runner? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I know I'm going first. I'm going to give me the freaking Josh Allen and the Bills. When the Cardinals sucked, I text Court and I said, you know what, let's just pick a different team. And Court said the Bills, and I was like, you know what, let's give it to the Bills. I don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl, have they? Maybe they did way back when, but they sucked for so long before Josh Allen. Fan base seems awesome. Josh Allen seems like a stand-up guy, and give me the Bills. I hope they win it all. I think he's pretty legit, and MVP in my heart. Ty,
all right.
Win the Super Bowl.
I'll go with the team. They don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl either. The Lions, baby. I don't know how you pick against them. The two-headed dragon. I know one of them's hurt, but he might come back. The offense is electric, and the defense is just as good. And I'm a big Dan Campbell guy. I just think the Lions have enough assets this year to get it done.
I would have said the Lions before the Bills went into Detroit and absolutely murdered them. But, you know what? They could get hot. This is close.
They lost by like 3 points.
Murdered them. Didn't they score?
That's why I'm taking the Lions, baby.
They scored
In Detroit.
They scored like 45, yeah.
Yeah, I remember them getting their defense getting murdered. I didn't think about their offense.
He had like 500 yards.
That's okay. Murdered them.
Who you got?
That's a win.
Oh.
Just let me say it.
I would have probably said the Lions or the Bills. Guys,
Give me the Ravens.
we're forgetting.
No, don't
I
say
hate-
it. Don't say it.
I hate to say it.
They're not good this year.
They haven't scored more than 31 points this year, but gosh dang it, Patty Mahomes just finds a way. I don't like the Chiefs, and I don't want them to win, so I'm cheering for my new favorite team, the Bills. Bills fan for a week now. But you can't count.
They're just not as good as they've been.
Count out Patty.
They're just not as good as they've
you
been.
really can't.
I mean, if they win this year, it's just unreal.
If they win this year,
I'll say he's the GOAT from now on.
Dude, I've watched some Chiefs games this year, sweat them out because he's my fantasy quarterback, and man, he has not looked his best. But their defense, they've got one of the best head coaches in the league. They always have a chance with him on the field, with Mahomes on the field. So I think they have a good opportunity. I hope they don't because nobody wants to see a three-peat. So give me the Bills. Give me Josh Allen, James Cook. Drafted him in all 3 leagues. That's my dog. I'll ride with you to the day that I die. Shout out James Cook. You're better than your brother Dalvin.
Get on the pod.
Hop on the pod. They got some no-name receivers out there, but they still get the ball to all of them.
Matt
Collins, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir.
Shout out his TikTok.
Let's go. Yeah.
See Mac on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mac,
All right.
you fixed my vacuum last week.
The Bills are it, baby. Let's go. Bills
Go Lions.
Bills
Bills
Mafia,
Mafia.
stand up.
Go Lions.
And I did look it up. The Bills murdered the Lions by 6 points. So let's go. We got into the MVP, so let's just go with clutch player of the season. I'm just taking this right where it's been. We're going Josh Allen, baby. He's my MVP. I don't care. Tyson's about to be Lamar, and and Allen's my MVP. And I saw something. He's played with a broken hand since week 1. So dude's just tough as
Against
nails.
the Cardinals.
Yeah, we broke his hand because the Cardinals are like that. But dude's legit, and he married Haley Steinfeld, or engaged to Haley Steinfeld, so that's cool too. Woo.
Yeah, wow,
Josh, you want to get on the pod?
Hop on the pod. You're really good at football.
You and James, right? I want you guys
Swag.
on the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Trey said mine. Mine's Lamar. The guy is unreal. And I want you to all look up his 4 interceptions he's thrown this year. None of them they're all receiver interceptions. He has not thrown.
Actually, cutting you off. Should that be a stat? Receiver caused interception.
It should, yes.
Yeah.
It should be opposite or different than.
Than an
But I'm
Yeah,
telling you, I'm going to show
Thank
these
you.
2 after this. I'm going to show the 4
seen them.
interceptions.
We don't
Yeah.
care. But Yeah, no, that should definitely be a stat. I think it's bogus.
The guy's unreal. I mean, I wish the Cardinals would have took him over Josh Rosen back in the draft, but
Dude, I saw this thing on Instagram today.
Saw
The
it.
5 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and Josh Rosen's linked in with his MBA.
Yeah. He's learning how to be like a teacher or something.
Tough.
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Josh
And
Rosen.
Josh Rosen promised all of Arizona he was going to be the best thing that
He really
the
did.
Cardinals ever did.
Unfortunately, did not work out.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
I got 2. Can I do 2?
Yeah.
Underrated,
fast.
who's been absolutely electric, and unfortunately his defense has let it down. Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow. 4,600 passing yards, like 40 total touchdowns. The dude's been balling.
And he's tough as nails.
And he's a freaking dog.
Yeah.
And his house got robbed. Joe, shout out you. Get on the pod. Also, Saquon Barkley, 101 yards away from breaking the all-time rushing record. He can outdo it against his old team. I don't think he will. I'll probably rest him. If I'm Saquon, I'm suiting up. I'm going to run all over the Giants defense, say, y'all should have paid me. Let me go to Philly.
Yeah.
Suck it.
All right, Court, give me your Joe Schmo player of the season.
Debo.
Debo. Yeah, he's been rough, man.
Look, I told myself I was drafting Debo before Ayuk signed, and I was like, hey, Ayuk signed. I'm not going to draft Debo in fantasy. Glad I didn't. I know he's kind of popped off these last 2 weeks, but the dude's been doing cardio. He's just running around. Like, not getting the ball.
And complaining.
Complaining.
You see when he punched his kicker?
Look, yeah, Debo, great player. He's versatile. He can get him in the backfield,
Give
get
him
him in
pod.
the slot, he can get him in the pod, he can get him on the outside, he turns punts and kicks, so he's got all the tools to be like top 5 receiver, top 5 utility player in the league. I don't know what happened this year, Debo. I don't know.
I'll go next. Kyler. Can't stand the guy. Just been rough.
Yeah, you already got him earlier.
We dogged him earlier. That's all I need to say. Kyler, Joe Schmo.
All right. My Joe Schmo is why am I blanking?
Tyson doesn't have a Joe Schmo.
Oh, Travis Kelce, I got it. I mean, the guy makes an impact in different ways. It's probably because he's on my fantasy team and I'm salty. But the guy just cardio. I mean, just runs around, and freaking Noah Gray steals all of his touchdowns. And I don't got much to say about him. I mean, he's a good player, but he's just been really disappointing this year.
All right, let's move to the NBA quick. First of all, here's my question, and it's kind of been the question of the NBA lately. Why are the ratings down? How come no one wants to watch the NBA?
Because it sucks. Put it how it is.
Because the guy,
sucks.
There's no defense.
and
It's
they just
everybody's chucking
they
threes.
just chuck threes, yeah.
Unless
Well-
you get like a primetime game, like you get to watch Jokic, Curry, LeBron. Dude, freaking LeBron's the GOAT, bro.
Shout out Braun, 40th
Shout out
birthday,
Braun.
get on the pod.
Shout out National Tight End Day too, Braun. I know that would be you.
Get on the pod.
Yeah, hop on the pod. Yeah, unless it's like a primetime game, like, I don't know. The NBA just not it. College basketball better.
And the thing too is they just have an opinion and some political stuff and everything. It's like, can we just watch sports and not think about anything that's going on in our world?
I will say one thing that I do still love about the NBA is a Mike Breen double bang. Bang! Bang!
Curry on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah, and the other thing is their best players are constantly on the bench just in their designer eating while their teams are just out playing because they hurt their ankle 7 weeks ago and they're still not ready. I mean, like I said, Allen played with a broken hand for the last 15 weeks. And, I mean, yeah, there's just no toughness anymore. It's just 3 balls, and, I mean, that's about it. It's just not very fun to watch at the moment. But, with that being said, we're going to go into our clutch player of the year from what we do know about basketball this year. And mine's DeMontis Sabonis. Their team sucks. They can't win. They actually just fired their coach. But if there's one player, I mean, not one. I'd probably take Jokic or Antetokounmpo. But DeMontis Sabonis would be my sleeper player to go get. The guy's unreal if you watch him. He's literally a walking triple-double. And just constant. He plays like every minute of the game, too. And I just love watching him play. I think he's a really good player. Ty.
Mine's gonna be the Jokic. I mean, I don't got much to say. The dude is so freaking good at basketball. He just give him the MVP every year before the season even starts. I mean, top 3 in scoring, top 3 in rebounds, top 3 in assists every single season. And you see that it works. They win. I mean, Jamal Murray, I'm crazy I can call him a role player now, but he's got a bunch of role players around him. That, I mean, and obviously it works. They won the title 2 years ago, and he's just one of the most unathletic dudes I've ever seen, but he's something else.
He's good at basketball.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Give me SGA.
Say his full name. Let's hear it.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Get on the pod.
hop on the pod. Dude, it's a bucket. That's all I gotta say. He scores however he wants to.
Yeah, he's a Canadian too, you know.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
I found out yesterday that Kyrie Irving is Australian. I had no idea. But anyways, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, if you watch that guy in clutch, literally, he's the prime. His mid-range looks like prime Kobe. He literally makes it every time. Doesn't matter who's in his face. The mid, he's unreal. And with how basketball's going right now, with just 3 balls and dunks and no defense, it's good to see a little mid-range in there. So, yeah, I did like Court's pick. He probably would have been mine if I didn't. Okay, and I'm going to give just the Joe Schmo of all 3 of us. Yusuf Nurkic. I can't stand him. We already brought him up, and I'm going to say it again. He sucks. And he's one of the biggest reasons the Suns suck, because he's horrible. And
He got in a fight the other day.
And he's butt ugly. But that is cool that he did get in a fight for Ryan Dunn, because Ryan Dunn didn't want to pay the fine that he would have got because he's on a rookie deal. So that was a cool, good teammate, but he's just not good at basketball right now. Okay, quick, baseball. Let's talk about some of the biggest things that have gone down. Probably the biggest signing in the last, other than Shohei, last 10 years of baseball was Juan Soto. Flipping to the other end of the subway from the Yankees now to the New York Mets. That's going to be fun to watch, I think. I love watching Juan Soto. I think he's really good. He's actually not good in the outfield, but watching that guy up at the plate, every single bat is just like a chess match. I mean, the guy doesn't swing at anything if it's not in the strike zone. It's unreal, his eye. And I don't know if you guys have anything to say about Soto. I wish Diamondbacks had the money to
he's
get
great.
him.
My sons are going to be out in the cage every day to make sure, because the contract that he got is...
My goodness.
$75 million for signing a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's just a signing bonus.
Generational wealth for signing.
It is nuts, guys. To say the least.
Not
You don't
even
know
just
that
the money
contract.
aspect. Money aspect was crazy, but just the perks too were unreal. I mean, like houses for all his family, suites for every single game, hotels for his family. Like, it was just the most outrageous contract I've ever seen. And I don't want to say it deserves it, because I don't think anybody deserves that kind of treatment in life, especially if you're just good at swinging a bat. But I mean, unreal. He's a great player.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're going to be paying him $65 or however much it is a year when he's 38.
Yeah, I would love to break that down per at bat and just see. Actually, I did, if I remember right. And it was like $50,000 in at bat, I think, for the next. Whether he strikes out, hits a grand slam, whatever. How do you walk up to the plate and actually care what happens?
You know, bag $50,000.
Yeah, there's 50.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah. Oh, you want a nice house? Give me 2 games, and I can get a pretty nice house. All right, that's crazy. Let's talk about the other stupid team out here, the Dodgers. I can't stand these guys, and they just keep re-signing everybody. They went and got Blake Snell,
So dumb.
and just what we need in the NL West, some more good pitchers out here. But Corbin Burns killed his deal.
He's better.
He's
Corbin
better.
Burns is better.
He's younger. He has better ERA,
He's better
and we
looking.
paid him less.
He's better looking.
Yeah, and we paid him less. So we won, but it is just annoying to see the Dodgers. Should there be a salary cap in baseball? Whole another episode.
Yes, there
Yeah,
should be a
that's-
salary
that's
cap,
all I
and there
got.
should be an allotment of deferred money, or deferred
Yeah,
money
I
should
agree.
not be.
I hate every Dodger fan.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in like 10 years where the Dodgers aren't gonna be able to afford anybody because they're paying
Yeah.
$700 million to 6 players that played on their team a decade ago.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I'm praying for that day to come soon. Hate the Dodgers too.
All right, let's talk about the East Coast Dodgers. They went and got Cody Bellinger. Just got signed to the Yankees. You know what? You can have him.
It's cool, Good,
Yeah.
good for you, Belly. Yeah, go have
I've
fun.
never liked Cody Bellinger. He's a good player. I just don't like him as a guy. He just seems off. But I would have liked him on D-backs probably. I think he would
Sweet
have
hometown
fit
hero.
really good there. But you know what? He went to the Yankees and followed his dad's footsteps.
Oh, and they got Goldschmidt. Shout out him. Give him the pod.
Goldie,
Yeah,
took a picture with you when I was 8.
Goldie took less money. He was offered by the Diamondbacks more money to come here, and
That's a shame.
he wanted to go to New York.
I get it, man.
All right, let's talk about Kyle Tucker to the Cubs. That's a steal.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker's a really good ball player,
Very good.
and I think he's going to do well with the Cubs. I like the Cubs. It's hard to hate the Cubs.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
108 years out of the World Series, they finally
Yeah.
got one. Yeah,
Cool
why not?
jerseys, cool Wrigley
Cool
Field's
city.
awesome. Hey now, and I like the Cubs, and I think
Yeah,
Tucker.
cool.
And we already said Christian Walker to the Astros. Bye.
Oh, one more I want to throw in there. Crochet.
No,
Crochet.
the
Yeah.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Red Sox. No, Yankees.
Yeah,
Red
Red Sox.
Sox.
White Sox, the Red Sox.
And Walker Buehler, Red Sox.
Yes.
I mean, that dude is nuts. I mean, yeah.
I remember watching Garrett Crochet in his MLB debut, and I thought his pants were weird because he had the the cropped pants
Yeah,
down to his
but-
ankles. He was like the starter of that
But
transition.
he's a dog.
Chucks.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
I mean,
He's a dog.
Tyson's about his height, but
I don't throw any
Tyson
retard,
throws
unfortunately.
about 40 miles an hour slower than him.
If I did, I would be
So,
going places.
Yeah, if any of you are out there, and I mean, I played college baseball. If you want a path to just a free scholarship to basically any team, throw left-handed and throw 87 and be weird and awkward, and you probably got it. So just a little side note out there for you. All right, let's talk about this rumor. There is a rumor going around MLB baseball that they're going to have a golden bat rule, which means Shohei just hit, and then he strikes out with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Shohei can then walk back up and start a new at bat. Once a game, you get to pick this.
Nope.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The commish said it wasn't coming anytime soon. We're good.
My thing is not even just dumb in the first place, because baseball's a team sport, it's not an individual thing. That's why it's a team thing. But it just ruins every statistical stat of baseball ever.
Yeah,
Like-
not a fan.
I mean, Barry Bonds could have had 900 more RBIs in his 25-year career because he just would have, bases loaded, Barry's up, here we go, granny. Like, that's just...
It's like having 5 LeBrons on the court at the same
it's just
time.
stupid. And, I mean, I understand they're trying to bring attention to baseball because it's kind of the little brother right now of basketball, sadly, and football. And, dude, here's my thing. I think college football's taking over the world. I think it's the most fun to watch by far of any other sports.
Preach.
NFL this
bad.
season has been really bad to watch. I mean, I can't tell you one primetime game this year that's been decent. Like, I'm talking like a Sunday night or Monday night. They all just been... I mean, the Seahawks just won 6-3. And that was the second Monday Night Football game there wasn't even a touchdown this year. I mean, it's just unreal. So,
No golden bat rule.
no goal.
Never.
Never.
No.
All right. We don't have trivia. I don't know if Tyson looked up trivia like I told him to. I don't think he did.
I didn't.
But it's okay, because we'll be back next week. We're going to get these things rolling. So we appreciate y'all watching. Tune in next week where we'll be talking about free agency, like I said, in all sports, especially MLB. We're going to obviously recap some of the biggest games of the year for college football. Recap how the Devils just went out and won a game somehow, some way. That's all we do. And we'll pick on some other games and preview them and talk more about transfer portal and other things. So until then, have a clutch week. Excited for y'all. And like I said, have a good New Year's and holiday. And we'll be back. Peace!
Peace.
Doubles.
Hey now.